We're perfectly on time, so I will start with my introduction and then I'll leave space to Carlotta. Nice to see you all here. I see some familiar faces from the interviews or from the previous event that we held. So today we're here for a workshop with Carlotta. Carlotta is one of the tutors, it's our tutor of the CodeMaster Bootcamp, the next edition, and she will guide you through the assignment that some of you are doing. And for those of you who haven't started yet, don't worry, we'll get there. First of all, let me tell you a bit about ourselves at Talent Garden, who we are. Today we're talking to us, we're part of the Innovation School. We offer training in different fields such as coding, as yourselves, and design and marketing, for example. But we do have spaces dedicated to co-working. We actually are the largest European networking of co-working. And we also do corporate transformation together with some companies. In fact, Talent Garden is much more than a space. It's a community, and it is a community that spreads around Europe with 21 campuses in 17 cities in 8 countries. In this map, you can probably find the campus that is closer to you. And let me tell you that we're really happy that the campus in Lille is our newest acquisition and it opened this month. Regarding ourselves at the Innovation School, you're here because you're interested in coding, most of you, but know that we have other products and we also have programs in areas such as UX and UI design, for example. We do have over 6 years of experience and we have courses in different languages, from Italian, in which we were born in Italy, and then in German and English. Let me give you some data about our students from the CodeMaster Bootcamp. 1 year after, meaning in our last survey, we talked with our alumni and all of them are currently working. Actually, 67% of them at the same company that they joined after the CodeMaster Bootcamp, and 50% of them work in projects related to startups, for example. About the CodeMaster Bootcamp, Carlotta is one of the tutors, as I was telling those of you who joined from the very first minute. And I would like to give you an overview of all the modules that you will have all over this week, saying that we'll start on the 3rd of May. It is a full-time program, Monday to Friday, and it lasts 12 weeks. So here you have an overview of the modules and what you'll be learning. Also know that we have the developer talks in which we'll do in week 3, 6, and 8. At the end of this module of this bootcamp, you'll have a team role play, as you can see, during 3 weeks in which you can really put hands-on on what you've been learning over these weeks. And how to join the CodeMaster Bootcamp. The first step will be to book an interview with me, just to get to know each other so I can give you more information and you can tell me a bit about yourself. Then you'll have access to a free module to start learning on your own. At the end of it, you have an assignment, which will be key this workshop to understanding this assignment. And after this assignment, basically you're selected and you're ready to start. These are all information that I can give in more detail directly to you individually if you're interested, but please know that this assignment might give you access to one of the scholarships that we have. We have 1 full scholarship, 2 half scholarships, and we have a special discount for the women in tech that join our program. Next deadline of our assignment will be the 26th of March, but I will leave Carlotta to the details of what you need to know to do this assignment as best as you can and try your luck. Thank you.
Okay. Hi again to everyone. I share my desktop now. So you can see everything. Marta, give me yes. So, yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. So what about today? For the first webinar, we discussed about HTML. So what mean HTML we'll see in like an half hour. As Marta has told yet, I'm a web developer and designer, also bootcamp tutor, And I've teaching myself like HTML, CSS, and a lot of other languages from like last 15 years, I can say 20, but anyway. Anyway, don't hesitate to ask me something because in this webinar, we start from the very beginning. So you don't need to know anything from the scratch HTML and CSS. The point of this webinar is create the perfect assignment for like try to enter inside the Bootcamp CodeMaster 2021. So don't hesitate and ask me something if you need help. We have like 10 minutes after the webinar to discuss something about, so that's it. Let's start. HTML and CSS. Someone of you say something about what is HTML, why you need to know it? I'll try to ask you something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think HTML is hypertext markup language. It's used is basically the foundation for websites around the world. Without it, there is no website. Basically, I mean, it's just a markup language, basically, but yet without it, yeah. So
yeah, exactly. If you say the entire name, so HTML is the short for hypertext markup languages, and CSS cascading style sheet. So together they are like the basic technologies that you need to know for create something like web page, web application, everything. So they provide just the structure, like the basics. You have to think about if you want to build a home, you have the structure. So you have HTML, and maybe your amazing pattern and your yellow sofa is the CSS. That's pretty all the stuff. And for that and a lot of more reason why it's important for you. Someone, why you think that why you have to start with HTML and CSS? Suspense. In this case, I answer for you. And yeah, do it.
I just wanted to guess maybe because it's kind of like international language that everyone can speak and understand each other for structuring the website.
Okay, cool. Yeah, also, someone else?
I still want to add on my previous point. I think HTML, like I said earlier, is like the foundation, and CSS, HTML and CSS like foundation. So it's like an human being. HTML is like the bones, the skeleton, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah, and then CSS gives the body.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Indeed, 2021. So depends if you are a businessman and you want just format your email, or if you want to know how it works something, everything is with basics, and so everything's online have some HTML and CSS inside, and also are the perfect start for learn something about development. So it's the essential part of your learning curve. If you start here, you can grow and improve every language and every different languages. Okay, that's the pretty much how I can say about it. So HTML, let's go. What's the first thing that you need for write HTML? Editor. Okay, editor is probably the first thing you need, and you need to work with a good editor. There are a ton of editor online, probably a lot. You are thinking about Visual Studio Code, Atom, Sublime Text 3, CodePen. I can give you some advice first, but you have to try all and after choose what is the best for you. It's like, you have a pen, you have a wallet, so you have to write something. So you have to choose what is better for you. Probably Visual Studio Code is the most used now at this moment. Is the most famous. So if you're reading something about, you can see some advice about, some palette, some advice for tools, and is open source, and also have a lot of extension available that can help you for improve your skill. So it's one good start. Also, there is Atom, and it is very customizable tool too, and also have a lot of, I think the best forum for people who want to share something. Probably Windows people use it more Atom than other, but depends. Anyway, you have to try. Last but not least, Sublime. Sublime Text is now the third edition, so is like the oldest, I think. Probably the cleaner. I think it's just tiny hard to install something like can help you, but probably if you like it, is like the cleaner and also is very intuitive. So you have to try. Next, you tell me about if you like it or not. Anyway, if you don't want to install something on your computer, you can use CodePen project. Is also nice. It's just online, so you can try to start coding online without installing nothing, and that's it. I also had Notepad and TextEdit because yes, you have some editor in your laptop, but it's just basic. So you have to write everything, and you don't know nothing more than what you write and what you do. I can show you easily, like Visual Studio is like here. You have to download it, and it's something like that. I use it after, so I can show you something, but for each one, there is a website. Of course, you can install the application and also the packages. So here you have Sublime, and also here, sorry, here you have CodePen. Is a website, is easy to use, is easy to start to do something. I show you after, but you have to see online what you can do. So after editor, you have to write. So HTML, as the word say, is a language, just a simple language. It also have a lot of rules like the other languages. If you want to improve Korean or I don't know, Japanese, you have to study the grammar and also the rules. Same for HTML. So just go deep inside each HTML. So here is like a pattern. So you can see, what are you looking here? Just a single page with something inside. Indeed, HTML consists in something like about tag, like here. And this tag have some rule and some characters that you have to use. And also there is some rule for like organization. You can see here, like something is more here, more there. Depends about where you have to put all the stuff, but it's very easy to know how it's doing. We have two stuff, elements and attributes. The elements are the part that usually start to the open. So you have an opening tag with some character. In this case, we have paragraph, and tell you what you have to text and what the content have inside of the web page that you see. So it's wrapping in opening, closing angle bracket, as you can see here. And I put in different color, but also your code editor do it. So it's easy to define what is an element and what is the content. So we have the opening and the closing tag, as you can see here. The difference is just the forward slash, you can see there. So you have the opening, the closing, and inside something that is the content, but not everyone HTML element have an opening and closing. Sometimes you can have just an opening, but we'll see. After we have attributes, and attributes is something that define some information more about your elements. In this case, we have an image, so we have the tag image, and inside we have like source that give you the path of the image, and width that give you the width of the image in this case. These two attributes have some rule, and I'll show you there. The classic rule is the space between the tag and the attributes and the element name. Also, the attributes are inside of the opening tag. You can see here the opening and the closing for the opening tag. Also, you can have a lot of attributes, but of course not 1,000. Like in this case, we have a source and the path and the width. But if you have to use a lot of your rule, we will use something different like CSS. And also usually we have like a normal rule like name and equal value, in this case 50, okay? But this is, I think, 9 the most important thing you have to know about attributes. Okay, so we have elements and attributes, but how many there is like whole line? Probably more than 1,000, but I can see really you can use maybe 20, 25, depends which web page you have to do. You can think that there are some common, some not much commons, but everywhere you can see every tag online in the documentation online. And I put here your a direct link, but you can see like VC3 School, Developer Mozilla, or you just Google HTML tags, and so you can see what there is a line. Anyway, for beginner, don't worry, you need just the basics. So I organized the basics in 5 parts, so it's more easy for you. So the important parts are the section elements. So we have a lot of tags that describe some part of your web page, like header, footer, navigation, nav. So you have like the link for navigation bar, something like that. It's easy for using, and you can use for organize a lot of text inside of your web page. I'll show you how to do it in a few minutes. After we have text content. So these kind of tags are important for organize like text and different of text. In this case, you have to think about like a book. So you have a label, you have like a title, you have subtitle, like something like that you write. And same in HTML page, you have to do it because for Google search and different stuff, you need to do it well. Also, you can have a list, something like that. After we have forms, the forms probably are the trickiest part in the HTML code, but don't worry because you don't need to use it for your assignment. It's just the basis. But you have to know that there are like something like for, input, button, and of course they have a rule like you can use button for make a CTA or some button. And also we have image and links, and they have a separate tag, image for image, AE for link. Also we can have like for text stuff, some separator like break, or maybe I've seen some line in the website, some is HR probably, or you can do it with CSS. So it depends what kind of page you have to do. Last but not least, the comment. Why the comments are very, very important for all developer, because you have to use it for organize your code, and so maybe insert something that you want to remember, and also for explain what I've done. So maybe you can divide like a footer part, header part, or here a CTA for newsletter, something like that. As you can see, also in this case, we have a rule. So all things inside the tag for comment is not available on your web page. So just for your consideration. I think that's enough. So this is all the rule. What do you think until now? Like no way too much? Let me know something. Suspense.
It gives a lot of curiosity to explore more.
Yeah, that's true. But I can say something, and is that HTML is a language. It's not like too much logic, just rules. So you have to use it and improve to use it, and you'll see it's very easy to do it. So we have to create a web page. What we need? The first thing that we need is the structure, because a web page have like a linear structure with some rule, and this rule is static. So every time that you see a web page, you can find something like doc type. In this case, doc type is a tag, is a different tag because doesn't need some closing tag, and define your page. And so say to the browser that your page is with HTML languages. It's like a basic rule. Inside of the doc type, we have HTML tag. So you can see here the opening and the closing tag. And so everywhere in each page at the end, you have to find HTML tag. You can put maybe in the middle and after something more is the end. That's like rule, static, mandatory. Inside of the HTML, we have two stuff, head and body. And the head is a part that tells something to the browser. So you don't see something about this part, except something that you want to see. Like in this case, title. Title, in this case, my website, is the label that you see in the browser on the top. I'll show you in a few minutes, but is the title indeed of your page. And the body contains everything that people see online in your page. So that's it. That's pretty much like the structure of our page. So let's try something now. I'll show you here. Now, what's the first thing that you have to do for open and create your first project? In this case, I've created in my desktop a folder, and the name is CodeMaster. And inside, I've inserted another folder for image and one index.html.com, no, sorry, just HTML for my first page. I open it in my code editor, in this case, index.html. I show you how, but you can do it like this, or you can just have to open, depends about your laptop, of course. And here we have like our empty page. So why a code editor is very, very important for your improvement and coding? Because you can have some help. Like in this case, I told you the structure is the same every time. I show you that. In one click, I have my structure is ready to do, is ready to use. And so it's more easy that I have to text each word every time. Let's see what there is inside. We have the doc type, as I told you, the important doc type. Here I have HTML and the closing one. So inside we have languages. It's not important, but you can use it if you want to show browser which language is better for your public. It's more for Google stuff and SEO stuff, so you can leave or depends on what you need to do. And also we have head, and inside of head we have a lot of stuff that also tell the browser something. In this case, UTF-8 helped me to don't show something like, have you seen some page without accent or without strange symbol? This is because they don't have something like that. Also here, by default, I have something about UX and UI, something about Edge if I want to insert some rule, but of course, this stuff is not important, so I can also remove it. Okay. After I have my title. In this case, I can put something like my web page. I save and I show you. I can close a few windows so you can see better. Here, I save and my web page, the label, as I told you, in title. So here you can insert whatever you want. Probably if is your assignment something like my presentation or CodeMaster Bootcamp and something about you, depends what you want to show us. So after we have the body. So here the magic happens and we have to put all our code inside to the body. So for your assignment, you need at least 3 steps. Something about you, something about some information about your life. I don't know what you want to insert, a photo, or maybe a link, and something else. We'll see.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So in the assignment, the sections, the different sections, the about, the my bio and the why, must it be
Exactly.
like a section on the page, or it can be an anchor like in navigation?
Depends what you want.
Okay.
Start from the basics, so we'll see. So as you told, we have some about you, so we create a div, and inside we put some title, maybe H2 in this case, about me, and inside maybe some paragraph with some blah blah stuff. So here I have my about me and some text about. Also, maybe I want to insert something like header and footer, but we'll see after. After we have a mandatory part, so another div with the second part is I think not about me, why. So we make another h2 and why maybe, and also a blah blah stuff. Okay, and a third part, probably similar to with something about you, I think. Third. I don't remember. So I put something like this.
Goals.
Thanks. Goals. Yeah. So you have to describe something about you really in this case, not like me. So we have like the bones, as you told a few minutes ago. After, of course, you can choose. You can maybe create a navigation bar with something inside, like maybe about me. So we can use maybe in this case, like inside a list. This is a list. Okay, so I can put like about me, and also why, and also goals. Yeah, as you can see, code editor helped me for remember the word and organize stuff, so it's easy to use. Here we have like a nav, and also maybe I want to add some footer with something inside, like a link, like mail to your mail, and so here I can put contact me. And so we also have a footer with link. So, yep, this is, I think, all the stuff, mandatory stuff. As you can see, it's very easy. Now, it is your turn to organize and decide what you think about like a nav bar, maybe something like a button, maybe some color for organize, maybe different page for each argument. But during this first webinar, I just want to show you that it's very easy to prepare just the bones of your project, like this case, and insert just the mandatory stuff, and also have the right bones for your project. Last but not least, I have to insert an image. And in this case, I put my image maybe in my about or at the end. In this case, I've chosen I've chosen a GIF, so another div. So the title can be H4. Why you have to choose? No, also if you choose me, what if I be there? Like something like that. And an image. And in this case, I show you first, I've inserted in my folder an image folder. This is the best way for doing it, because if you take some photo or some image from internet, of course, maybe there is now, but tomorrow someone else can change the link or something else. So here you can find your image is inside of your project. So I think it's better, depends what you prefer. Of course, you can create a folder online. Like in this case, I create in my drive some folder with my image inside. So the link, of course, is better than online, but depends. My advice is use some folder inside and give us your project with image, but or create some folder that, of course, all people can see. So here I can insert an image using image dot image dot and okay. Okay, sorry. Gify. Folder img / gify. I don't remember the name. Blah 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 blah. Like in this case, -3. But I can show also that if you do it like in CodePen, it's kind of the same. So if we bring all our stuff inside of the body and put here, yeah, you can find all the stuff in the same ways, as you can see. So depends if you want to use some code editor or if you want to do it online for save and send to us like your organization. Depends, of course, but the important thing is organize better your folder and all your stuff inside. And yeah, Q&A time. So you have some questions?
We have one in the chat, Carlotta.
Oh, perfect.
Ado asks, which code editor do you personally use? Which one is your favorite, maybe?
Okay, my favorite is not hard to say. Okay, my favorite is Sublime Text. I have to say Sublime, but it's Sublime because I use it for, I think, more than 10 years. Yeah, probably 10 years. And for that reason, I know how it works. I can install a lot of stuff. It's clean. It's more clean than maybe Visual Studio, but Visual Studio have something better for who doesn't know how it works. I show you. I don't say, like in this case, I give you like, yeah. You can see it's pretty easy to use it. It's easy to install some extension. Like in this case, I have done something like just insert a word and all appear, like tags, duck type, this kind of stuff. And I use like some tools that help me to write, of course, more don't write slow. That's the important things. Depends what you need. Now, like for this kind of class with React and with JavaScript, probably something like Visual Studio is better because you can have also your terminal, you can deploy your stuff, you can see your Git account. It's too much stuff that you don't know now, but it's more easy to use than others. That is just advice that I can see. But my advice is try all, install, and use it and choose. And maybe you can have all. In my laptop, indeed, I have Sublime here, I have Code Studio here, I have also Atom in another window, so depends. Something more?
So I have one question, like Carlotta. I'm sorry.
It's not easy to say, I know.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah, so like the backend, like you'll be the one who'll be teaching backend, or like you'll be the front end professor, teacher?
No, I'm the tutor, so I'll give you some advice and help during all the exercise part. Indeed, I'm both because I'm a designer, so I make a lot the front end part, but I've also done the backend part. Depends about the project. During this class, of course, you see a lot of front end because JavaScript is for front end especially, but of course with React we have like the backend part with Node and maybe some part of databases, depends what you have to do. In this case, some little application. Okay, so this is like all the depends about the argument. Okay, but for CodeMaster we are like in point of front end also for me.
Okay.
Okay.
We have, if I may add, we have a faculty, we have 4 teachers. We have 3 teachers and with Carlotta 4 actually. So you'll be seeing different people during this course.
Yeah, depends about the argument indeed.
Yeah.
Someone more.
So we'll be learning about the version control, Git and other stuff for everything.
Yeah, we'll do it at the start and we use during all the master. So we use version control for depends what you have to done, of course. Yeah. Something more? Flo, you have some questions? I see you concentrating. Of course, HTML and CSS are the basics because we don't spend a lot of time with this argument during the master, just one day, no, one lesson at least, because it's just the bones, but JavaScript use some CSS and HTML inside for create web page. So it's important for you maybe have just a global idea, of course, using you become better and you remember how it works. Of course, tags, as I told you, are more than 1,000, but like there is a tag especially for like something like receipt list or like alphabetical list, so you don't use it a lot, or you have a blog like receipt blog and you need it, but depends. It's just for organize the browser stuff, so you need to know like the basics and after maybe discover something more. With CSS part, of course, we make the magics. So if someone of you maybe have some knowledge, is easy, but don't worry because you have to decide which kind of CSS use for create a web page. Like if you want something with a lot of design, or if you want some classic and basics, or if you have to make some web app that maybe organize some data, it's different in each case. Okay, so every time you have to discover something new.
We have another question from David. For the course, would you recommend better to work on a Mac or Windows?
Okay.
Will you provide instructions for both operating systems?
We provide instruction for both. Indeed, we use just the terminal and of course the code editor, but depends what you prefer. My advice is, okay, now a lot of companies use Mac just for graphics, especially. Like in my case, I have a Mac because I'm also a designer, so I have to create something graphics and after organizing my works, but really depends. Probably Linux and iOS in this case or Mac are easy for some stuff, but if you use Windows, it's perfect anyways. You have your rules, but it's fine. Also in this case, probably there are some stuff that can make you some difficult, like with Dockers and something else, but there is also a community. So for each each quarter, you have to make your rule. Indeed, a lot of people that have Windows prefer Atom with code editor. I don't know why, but that's it.
I think it's because it's beautiful with words.
Yeah, exactly. Probably.
But I think Visual Studio Code should be better. I don't know.
Yeah, depends. But you, as you know, like React is a library from Facebook, so some company makes something that works better, and so we use it for some reason, but probably because they are famous, and so it's easy to choose. Depends like about what you prefer in this case. Okay. Also for languages, you can choose to study maybe Swift or React or JavaScript, depends. Anyways, yeah, the last master, I can say this to you, maybe it's interesting. We have 3 Windows, all Mac, and 1 Linux, at least. Yeah, a purist, I think. Yeah. Something more?
I have a question about the projects in our portfolio at the end of this course. What projects exactly is going to be? Could you tell more, please? And maybe how many?
Yeah. Usually we make like a big project at the end. So it's like a really application that works. And we depends about the class. We have to decide, but usually we have 2 different parts. We organize with some external agency that maybe they can give us some brief, and so you have like a really challenge, so you can see how it works and how do it well. Also, we create something like for you that improve you to like your knowledge for how it works and how make the right stuff in the good way. Okay, so like just learn how developer works. Exactly. And at least we have a project. In this case, I don't know yet, but Marta for sure can give you some info more. And usually during 3 weeks, so you have like complete line. So you can start from the scratch, developer, recreate something, organize, and delete, like release at the end.
Yes, I can just add some hints. Basically, as Carlotta said, you will have the final weeks to work on your project, Valeria, and you'll be able to work in groups. And we really want to have you, to give you the experience of work as it will be on the job market. You know, I can just give you hints about the projects, but I know that you will have to build an application, also regarding maybe the development of an app, and it will be very complete.
Thank you.
Something more? We'll see. Doesn't start with development.
Well, I know you're here as a tutor today, Carlotta, as a part of our faculty, but you were one of our first students.
Yeah, that's it. That's true. Indeed, I applied to the first CodeMaster like 6 years ago, a long time. Indeed, in this case, it's not like the starter part because CodeMaster is about something particular. In this case, like Symfony, that is like a library, backend library. But yeah, I love to be in Talent Garden. Indeed, I'm still working for Talent Garden. And what I can give it to you is that probably the knowledge is the important part, but also the group and also contamination in Talent Garden is amazing. And so you can grow up next year during the like, I think during your work balance time also, like me in this case. If you have some question about also, you can don't hesitate to ask. I'm the tutor also for that reason, because I can give you some advice and also some, you know, I can give you some feedback about your work. Usually developer are like straight, and so it's not easy to communicate and organize stuff. So in class like in CodeMaster, you can share and also improve your skills, and so that's
I also have a question. Maybe it's more like related to my personality, but how to deal with some feeling? Maybe sometimes you feel tired or stuck, and how to deal with this motivation lacking. Sometimes it happens. I think
no, it's normal. Usually happen also to me. Like with coding, every time you have something and you say, no way I can do it now, I don't understand why it doesn't work. And so you need to find the motivation for do it. And I think that studying with a group, like in this case, and have someone that can give you some advice is the best way for start to learn and try to change your idea about, like, your day off. Yeah, but it's normal for developer. Is like I don't know if you have seen there is a Apple makes some advice in TV, so they have a lot of developer that maybe programming during the night, during the day, outside, inside, and each time someone stop work and say no way, after maybe take a coffee, talk with someone else, make a cake, and after come back to the code. Yeah, and you can find like how it works, and I think it's the best part about this kind of work, because you make something that doesn't exist, and so you have to try again and discover how it works, improve your skill. Is a challenging. So I think also for people who don't have motivation is a good way for finding some motivation. Yeah. Anyway, I'm the tutor, so you have time with me like for the next 3 months.
Yeah, thank you.
Someone else? Someone question also about the all the courses or all the argument or something more?
I've got one question.
Yeah.
After the successful completion of the course, we'll be applying for jobs, full stack, of course, but that will be through referrals, or we'll have to apply by our own self, or whichever country we are in, or I don't know where is it based right now, or like how that thing happens. Or
Yes, I can go. So basically what you will have is that at the end of our goal is at the end of this bootcamp, you feel completely ready to apply because you have developed your GitHub, you have improved your LinkedIn, and you have connected with our network. You will also have one individual session, a mentorship session with one of our members of our team who will help you putting yourself out there. This is an international course, so we have people from different countries, But we know that many people who finish this course then work remotely. So you can work kind of anywhere. We will have 2 sessions with 2 companies that are hiring or will be hiring, and you have the opportunity to show yourself up there. So it will be at the end of the course, and it will be private for our students. So you'll feel ready when you get there.
Also, if I can say, you can apply during each master personally, and I can say that during the last master, like more than half find a job before the end of the master for that reason, because now a lot of company needs someone, and especially if you are some international part. So doesn't mean if you live in Italy or you live in like Belgium or everywhere. Now,
Yeah.
like about me, I work from home, but I work with some company from Greece, in France, Italy too. So that's normal for us. Okay.
That's it.
I go.
Next week, we'll have a gathering, actually. I'm sure you will receive the invite, but we'll do a gathering with 2 other former students that are just graduating. They are both currently based in Austria, but they're not from Austria originally. And they will tell you a bit about themselves, about their career. So feel free to join. And it will be a chat in which you can ask questions to them directly. How was it? Because it's very fresh. They're very junior.
Sure.
Just stand up the master. Someone else say something, sorry.
I wanted to thank you again for this presentation, and I wanted to ask mostly for complete beginners, because for sure for some people here it was not super clear what exactly you were doing. Just to, I don't know, like to make sure that is it okay to feel this way? So far.
Totally. I said the first slide, okay, I just start from the basics, but don't worry, it's normal. Like if you want to improve Korean, like your first reaction is what? Like it's different language, different word, how it works. I don't know nothing. It's normal. Okay, it's a language, so you have to discover the rules, how it works, try to write something, oh that works, and after you have to learn, and one day you say, no way, now I understand how it works. That's normal. I think is the normal reaction. Also from me, like I'm 35 now, so I'm in the half age. I've started learning HTML CSS when I like 15, and I don't know if you know something like that, but in blog we have like some graphics and stuff and GIF and something like this. And so I want to know how it works and why they are moving, and so I start to learn HTML. And during like the last 20 years, all stuff changed, but HTML and CSS just growing, but is the basics. So that's normal. You have to know that, and after don't hesitate to improve like new language and new stuff, new library, but it's normal.
Yeah. And is it true that when you start learning one programming language, the others, they come already easier to use, so you like kind of understand the overall logic?
It's same, like if you know, like the first language that you know is the first, the second is an achieve after you understood the logic, and so it's more easy to understand one more. Also depends, like we start for HTML and CSS are the basic. JavaScript has some rule now, is very used because it's easy to understand, have not too much rule. And we use React, and is a library. So that library use some function with React and with JavaScript, and use JavaScript as a languages. Okay, but after you can maybe want to discover Angular or Vue or something more, is like different libraries but use the same languages. So of course it's more easy to understand how it works. Okay, it's like you have to think something about if you know, like IKEA. Okay, if you know how like info works. And so you try to create something. So you prepare your basics, you have your instruments. After you have to build maybe a bed and easy, or maybe a table more easy than the first. And after you have to create all your stuff, and that's it. Same, totally the same.
Thank you.
Also the CSS. I think the CSS is the magical part. I love CSS because it's my daily routine, and you can create something amazing with like not much line of code. So you'll see, it become like a challenge for you. Anyway, start from the basis. That's the important thing. You can't learn like Swift or JavaScript without like basis. That's the problem, I think.
Thank you. I don't know if I dare to ask, maybe someone in chat can just put, I don't know, a plus or something, who is a complete beginner. It's just curiosity. Sorry, maybe too much, but I just want to feel that I'm not alone.
Yeah, don't worry. But I think all of you probably, I think in this case is a course for someone that doesn't understand everything about coding. Of course, if you have some skill, better, because it's more easy for you to understand something new, but it's the same, totally the same. You can just have a computer and want to discover how it works. That's the important thing.
Yeah, thank you.
Really, Valeria, I've been, the first step is that you talk to me. We've talked, the two of us, but I've talked with some people that are here and some others who couldn't attend. And really, I tell you, you have people coming, yes, you have people who coming from STEM, some of them, but you do have people who are doing a complete career change, because you got to a point, especially in this past year, with everything that we've been going through all over the world, people are rethinking their future. And we do have a lot of people who did completely different things and are like, okay, I'm going to try, I'm learning everything from scratch and I want to launch myself out there. So really feel like you are as the rest of your colleagues. They didn't raise the hand or put the plus, but I know you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And during the last master, we have like someone from med school and someone from journalism part and someone else for like fitness part. It depends, of course. The important thing is the one to learn something new and become a developer, I think. Because if you like to do something like this, you'll see. But it'll become more easily each time, I think.
Join us next week if you can, Valeria. Also, there one of our speakers, like one of our former students, she's from marketing, and she also is using this knowledge in that area. So it's different. We'll have different people speaking. A really full stack personality, and another one more related to these areas of sales and marketing.
Yeah, thank you. I will join. Where can I see the invitation? We receive it by mail, or we'll see?
Yes, you will receive. I'll get back to you with the registration from today. So if you want to go and see again what Carlotta did, or I'll be in touch with you, and you will receive the invitation for this Eventbrite.
And also we have,
if you have any,
the second part of the webinar with CSS, if you want to join in. Okay.
I can share all the links in the chat while we're here. We still have 1 minute and we're not out, and we didn't run late.
Anyway, don't hesitate to ask us if you have some question or something else about the masters and the bootcamp, or about Talent Garden and about the argument of the course. Okay.
So I have a question about the project. So
yeah,
I don't know, how deep should we go in the project? I mean, most of us, we don't really know much about this stuff, So I don't know how deep we should actually go in the projects with the HTML and CSS. How complicated, how sophisticated should it be? I mean, is it just basic, like you just showed us, just the basic skeleton of, okay, about me, why, and the goals. Then maybe we can eventually try and add some colors with the CSS they're going to teach us next, I think next class, I think. And then, yeah.
Indeed, David, okay, you need just the basics. Like I can tell you that one of the person that entered in the last master just give us HTML basics without CSS, because in your assignment, you don't need to use mandatory CSS. The important thing is your mentality. So if you understand how it works and you show us that you know the rule, the basic rule, that's enough. Anyways, if you would like to show maybe something like some design, some stuff that you have tried with CSS and HTML, of course, do it. But my advice is use just what you know, really. Don't copy maybe something hard or some string of code that you don't understand, because after maybe it doesn't work better for your page. That is the case. During the next webinar, I'll show you a page with some more stuff inside, and I organize all the stuff with CSS, but it's not the mandatory part. The mandatory part is just HTML and like something about you. The important thing is like describe something about you in the right way with the right rule of CSS.
All right, thank you.
Nothing.
So thank you, Carlotta.
Welcome.
For being here today. Thank you all. If you still don't have access to the free module, and if you still haven't started with the assignment, please feel free to get in touch with me. I left my email on the chat. And if you have any question, please write to me.
Have a nice day, have a nice night, and evening now. Depends which time you have. And see you soon, I hope.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
To be there. Bye. Bye-bye.